Welcome to Third Avenue. Sitting where I'm your host. That's the camera.
Fuck
The
off.
the
mic quality
the
has to
mic. No, the mic. Yes, the mic quality. Obviously, the mic I have
be, and
would
then the
work.
place that you're in must be hella quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And more of a studio setting area, because if you're gonna use like denoise, like removing noise and stuff, it's gonna kill that immersion and that voice. Oh well, okay.
All right. What's going on, man, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Third Avenue, aka Tap. Yeah, man, this is your boy Vinny and
Hussein.
Yeah, man, guys. This has been a really dope journey, I must say. Doing this podcast thing. I mean, Jake, I actually feel like we should stop saying guys as if we're speaking to some people. We should just speak to each other.
Yeah,
because
it's just me and you.
Yeah,
The way it's just me and you, that even the agents on the AI agents on the internet don't even bother watching our content.
What are the AI agents?
So AI agents are basically, as the word says, it's an AI that is going to basically act as a user.
Oh, then check the type of content that you're putting in, what's in your content.
Basically it could, you wouldn't, usually you can come into the comments and you can just see weird
bots reply.
Yeah, like in a bot way. But AI agents, they want to launch them to like go wild on the internet by themselves, like a user. That's what Mark Zuckerberg said.
When did he say this?
I think he said it on Joe Rogan. I never watched the episode. So
I watched the episode. It wasn't saying much. Just that these niggas are getting a lot of hate nowadays. They're getting a lot of flack.
I think sensitivity is on a high, but now desensitization is also getting on the high. Which is bad, because there has to be a balance. I'm not saying we should be so overly sensitive, but like if we're like, there's so many things that you start seeing, like you could be scrolling on social media and then that video, especially Twitter, I'm gonna still call it Twitter, and then you just see something, you're like, huh? Right?
Yeah.
Some people just they'll just see something gruesome, and
it's because it's what they used to.
So when I mean like desensitization of everything is bad.
Do you in America they have the DEI, which is the same as like our BEE?
Really?
Yeah. So
okay.
So they DE, I forgot what it stands for. Something. It's to give people with disadvantaged backgrounds an opportunity to shine,
like a coda.
Yeah. But does our, like, I think there's also goes into the thing of like, if you're gay and all of that. That's why
I think.
So I'm like, my question is, in the BEE, does BEE take that into consideration?
So I don't think so. The BEE policy management, like what? Damn, it's been a minute. It's been like almost 7 years. But you have to also know that BEE is always sometimes constantly updated. And I think also in America, a fair thing to understand is that I don't know, right? Let me say that first. But I don't think that the first thing is that it would be a national. It could be a state. Because remember, they are a decentralized country. So it doesn't mean that if the national government, like Trump or something, that the state, a state could be particularly practicing that. But I don't know. Theirs is also as overly complicated to understand their laws and their quotas. I don't even know how the quota in our country works. I just know that, hey...
With the BE thing, it changes. Honestly, it changes.
But wouldn't you think that the BEE...
type of work?
And this is just a little bit of criticism to the country. And wouldn't you think that like the BEE was also... And that's why they put the triple BEE to rectify it. But like... Wouldn't you think that it's like, how do I say this? It's like rich people giving away to charity and donate on like a hospital wing for a hospital they're going to go on so they can not be detected. Do you get what I'm saying? So,
but I don't think in terms of BEE, It's not because it's government
yeah, no, but when I say it like
giving
that,
opportunities to private.
the people who benefit tend to be here, not an everyday black person.
Yes.
You know, and I think the most important thing to understand is that, and I think it's also a worldwide phenomenon, that I might be black, but I might be a different class than you. So like going back to the BEE or tenders even now, is that me and you can have an amazing idea, even probably have the expertise, but if you don't have the money, you're not going to get that access to that BEE. Am I making sense?
Yeah, no, you make
so
sense.
it's like creating this like class thing where it's like, oh yeah, we've created this thing, it's gonna benefit us. Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, the BEE was introduced to like enable black people to win in private sector mainly.
Yeah, to win more bids when they come out.
So now
because obviously back then we come from a much disadvantaged background, and obviously you have maybe more experience, more capital, and so forth. So it is to, in essence, is to equal the playing ground for everyone. But then it really doesn't per se, because for you to even to actually get a good one, you will still have to come into some sort of consortium or joint venture with another.
Because I think people are more innovative. I think we're living in a, what would I say? Because we spoke about living with sensitive area, desensitized area, but we're also now living in a I don't care era. Like, so people don't innovate. Like, for example, you came and be like, oh, a white guy sees another guy and says, you're black, I'll give you a cut so we could get this tender, right?
Yeah.
And I know it's a very controversial way to say it. It's a sneaky way, and it's not the right way to do it, but they have a way of getting the job done, right? So my question to you is, do you think we're living in a time where no one wants to do anything? Like, I get everything is bad, economic factors, the data is there to support it. Do you think we're living in a time where, I think my question is, do you think we're living in a time where people are romanticizing it, and then in turn we consume the content which gives the clicks, and then we feel like shit about ourselves, go online and still even feel more shit about where you are in your life somehow, right? So do you think it's like heightened and maybe sometimes even glamorized and romanticized?
No, I think it is, bro. I feel like if you go on the internet and then try to be like as before we even started the pod, I was saying that when you see like commentary channels, right?
Yeah.
Like example, the LA fires, where you find celebrities are crying that their houses are burnt, and then the comments are usually like, dude, you have so much money, what are you complaining about? So we also, if someone wants to, obviously this is not someone being positive, but like if you are of a certain level, let's say you did well for yourself in life, and then I always come, even now when I have nothing, I always try to preach gratitude, right? If you come across as grateful for the things you have, someone will be like, yeah, because you are able to at least feed your kids, so that's why you're telling people to have more to be more grateful for life. What about someone who can't do this? So I think, bro, I think you're right. And bro, we live in, things are negative now, bro.
It's just negative.
It's just
on
negative
purpose
on
now.
purpose.
I think it's all, you're right.
It sells more. It's more
because at the end of the day, remember, I always think we even had a disagreement. I think the lack of humanity, because you're looking at that person and you're like, oh, you're rich, and then you're like, but like, have you maybe ever we focus on so much of the materialism, but like, have you ever thought about what's in the house? You know, things that maybe you cherish, something.
I think what you're basically saying is that we as society say that we shouldn't have any empathy towards someone who is well off financially.
But that's,
there's no.
But to be honest, that's the. I think what people do is they take the David and Goliath and then make David be a hater of Goliath. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they put all these public figures or anyone who has money. And also, to be honest, even institutional worship does the same thing. It's like they're broke, but you know God loves you, right? There's always like a competitiveness. Like, as long as you're on top, right? Anything bad that happens to you,
It's
you
not.
deserve it. It's like nothing. Like if someone's house is burning, dog. Someone's house is burning, man. Like despite who it is, it's like, bro, you find you bought your kid drew you this drawing that you really cherish. Because you're right. It's like I think comedy channels are. Let me not lie to you. Shout out to Curtis Corner. Shout out to Noel Miller. There's people who know how to somehow comment, and you don't feel like they don't. It's not like they'll unless the person
It's just don't give opinions.
Yeah, they'll.
Yeah, it'd be a commentary channel by commentary.
But to be fair, those two are comedians.
Yeah, so like you
I think
find
maybe
a way,
I'm a bit biased
because that's what comedians. The job of a comedian is the one person that we always say like. Think about it. Who gives the comedian the right to say things? But because you were able to work on a craft, work on something, you are able to find ways in order to translate your opinion without it becoming again like the argument we're having about preachiness and sounding. I think you're speaking down to the people.
Yeah, rather than with the people. And
yeah.
also sometimes it's like you're also faking to be with the people. I think what happened with why people hate celebrities more than they ever did was because as soon as social media blew up, right? Because a lot of
irrelevant.
Like social media tends to be the people first, right?
Yeah.
And then this, what came in, there came this culture of like, oh my God, I'm just like you. You know, they would like promote stuff easy, like. I was in my car just listening to music. You know, like, bro, we ain't never seen you drive. You know, like you driven around like 10,000 bodyguards.
Yeah.
I think then it started becoming like, you know, The Rock's allegation. That thing is hilarious. Because it's like...
Wait, The Rock is thinking about his bag.
Somehow, guys, I know this might be very weird to say. I will always respect The Rock. But you see what I'm saying? Yes, The Rock kind of arguably destroyed the DC universe because you wanted to do the Rock thing, right?
Did that movie come out? Black Adam?
Yeah, it did.
How was it? Did you watch it?
I didn't watch it. But you're also right, because commentary channels can make you...
Yeah, it can mess you up. I always tell people, let me tell you something. I always say this. I am a hater. But I always make sure that I'm a hater who does research.
Yeah.
I always say to someone, if there's a show that I feel like I need to hate on it, I'm gonna make sure I watch this show. I must finish the season.
But also, like, the problem is because we're so plugged in, right? Because, like, the
perception,
the preconceived notion that's going around. But I do have a strategy for it, right? You know what you do?
Yeah.
Wait for the hype to die. Wait for the time, like, give it 6 months, a year, where everyone's even forgotten that they were hating on this thing. And then you just click. Right? So, but
before I forget, because I was always wanted to mention this on the pod, bro. Did you know that Taylor Swift is pulling up, bro, in April?
Really?
Yeah, nigga.
Damn, you know.
And I was telling my wife that I think, you know, those are some tickets you can cop, man.
We're not gonna afford Taylor Swift tickets.
Man, they might not be that expensive.
We're not
how many Swifties? How many white people do we actually have?
You went to UP. You let me say it.
But how big? It can be like a stadium, dog. You're telling me.
Listen, firstly,
you can't get
I'm gonna repeat again. You went to UP, right? Because I think sometimes your sample, like the way you're looking here.
Yeah.
But then remember when you used to go to the strip?
Just Pretoria in general.
Yeah. Bro. So like, you think, right? And remember, everyone's gonna go for the cheap tickets first.
Nah, man. If it's the whites, man, they're probably going for them headline seats, man.
What song are you? What song do you know by Taylor Swift?
I don't know, but it's just Taylor Swift, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
What's your favorite banger? Nah, to be fair, for the very longest time,
yeah,
I loved Taylor Swift.
I've never actually
I
listened to
really
her.
did. I
I only heard
really
like
did.
the songs that were popping on
I
radio.
think, let me say this. I think there's nothing wrong with Taylor Swift. And, okay, I can't say the same about Drake. But because fans are fans.
Yeah,
They can
put you off.
Yeah, and I think because Taylor Swift's clan is like a bunch of like white women as well are there in there, and it's giving like a K-pop fever type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's also like, nah. You see, sometimes it's like, it's nice to hate on people like that because
their
retaliation is so.
They already make way too much money, bro. Like you can't even. What are you gonna?
Yeah, man.
What could you possibly say to discredit?
But like
what they've
so
built?
You don't even know one Taylor Swift song.
I know that. Shake it off, shake it off.
But didn't you like when we were like in high school record on a Taylor Swift instrumental? You made your own song. I'm trying to remember it.
How about I wouldn't have known.
Yes, it was. Swift. I knew you were the when you probably copyright. You took the instrumental. I forgot the song.
That's Taylor Swift's ngoma.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, some songs. That's what I'm saying, bro.
No. Taylor Swift. You know what tends to start happening? Firstly, I get it. Maybe her masters deal with her re-releasing Taylor's version.
Did you hear the story about that? How it actually went down?
No, I don't actually know the backstory.
Can I just cook you for a little bit? I'll give a short summary. So you remember the guy Scooter?
I know Scooter Braun.
Yeah, Scooter Braun.
He bought.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily the case, right? So she had her masters. The whole conversations about buying her masters, and Scooter was involved in this thing. But then there was another third party that was involved that was speaking to the actual record label.
I think it's called The Machine.
Yeah.
Scooter got like I think ownership in that.
Yes, and then in that thing, and then eventually what happens is they bought it before Scooter could actually purchase it, because the agreement was Scooter was going to buy it, I think, and then was going to return it back to Taylor Swift. And give it back to Taylor Swift, and then things didn't work out. So that's why now what happened is Taylor, instead of doing that, she basically moved to a new record label and then re-released all the songs and then pushed their Swiftie fans to basically put the new release basically at the same level as the old masters. That is, bro.
Okay,
whoever,
I have. Let me say this. That's a boss move,
bro.
But it kind of is a double-edged sword.
Why?
Because you're making the other masters appreciate. Think about it. It's like it's that argument that you would always have about lab-grown diamonds and diamonds from the rough.
Yeah.
It's exactly the same argument, right?
Yeah.
Looking at it, and arguably the Taylor version is even gonna be better, right? But
the new version,
the version, because she re-records it and cleans it up, but it ain't the original.
Yeah, but remember, when you have your fan base,
the fans don't matter when it comes to Vini. Listen to me. They know like having a masters is power. So yes, in a balls way, she's owning her masters, but she doesn't really own what she made it that first time. And because Taylor Swift, now she's even arguably getting bigger, that said masters of those first albums will even be more, because it'll become a collector's item. It's not gonna make it go down in value. It's never gonna work. The more she does better, it's like it's still working. Because like, why would?
But at least I think it was mainly more just to recuperate some of the cash.
No, of course.
I think maybe
I get it. It's just to like also stick it to the man. But also for me, it does genuinely sometimes, because I think those versions are also on the streaming site, like both of them, right? For me, what happens then, because you remember I used to listen to like a lot of different music, it dilutes the entire discography. Like, oh, you're releasing an album. Which one? Taylor's version. Bro. Okay, now you're releasing a new album. So what I like is that... Sorry.
What?
I'm laughing because we were talking about this
Taylor Swift thing.
Yeah, I just remembered I watched this crazy ass Frank Ocean conspiracy, like short on YouTube Music.
When is Frank releasing an album?
Yeah, it was about Frank releasing. They're like, oh, Frank was spotted in Japan, right?
Yeah.
and he was walking. Now this is wild. They said it looked like he was walking and probably thinking about his album title.
Yeah.
And I'm like, whoa. And then the bag that he's having on his sleeve looks like enough for a record for his new album. I said, now we damn lost it. We even creating we're creating these. So going back to Taylor Swift, sometimes the weight that, like when Michael Jackson jumps on the Super Bowl and waits for 2 minutes, the weight.
But it's Michael Jackson, man.
But it's
That's
Taylor
the coolest
Swift.
shit. I've ever seen that shit. Father, you wasting all that performance time just pausing and looking into the abyss. Niggas just yelling out your name.
I think the one that used to be like, and I still have it, and it's sad. And I know I don't even want to talk about the guy, but like I used to always, Kanye West used to just stand, right? And he would wear these types of sweaters.
Yeah.
And like would be at his fashion show and you just stand, right? And now you're looking at, like I said, it's sad for me to see. You're looking at this whole black man creating clothes and making all these white people think he's the shit. You know what I mean? And at that time, just looking at, because to be arguably, we all used to think Kanye, and a part of us, I remember listening to his new album. And then people in the comment are like, this is a toxic relationship.
Oh, was the album that good though?
It was, I need to listen to it again. It was clean, right? And because I know, and he said there's going to be a use of AI and it's going to be revolutionary. I don't know how to think about it because it doesn't sound too muddy. There's a song with Stevie Wonder which Frank Ocean sampled. I think it's called Close to You. He did the same one on his. There's a lot of slower songs. It's like the contrast of what he's been doing with his antics. And to hear a bit of, we're working, but obviously because of his antics, it just makes everything muddy.
Yeah.
But you're just trying to, like I said,
you're trying to have a much more
and you're just trying to listen to music, and it's not really talking about like what you call this, like vultures. It's not trying to
pick up on what's currently going on.
And so people in the comments like, this is a toxic relationship, and I'm like, it is. Being a Kanye West fan is like the most toxic thing, because the guy will go do these things and then 5 minutes later is a human being talking about how he's struggling with mental health.
Man, that's my relationship with hobos, man. I'm not gonna lie.
It's not even about that. It's just like,
it's the same relationship I have with hobos. It's like a hobo. You know how I feel about hobos. And then one day some shit happens and then he's there. Like, I need to get out of this tight parking spot, and next thing is behind you and then he's helping you, and you're like, oh man, thank you so much, man.
You shouldn't do yay like that.
You know what? No, but I'm just saying, like, that's like the toxic relationship whereby.
But this is a toxic relationship.
Because
even when you are hating in your mind, you're like, man, just say sorry, man. What's wrong?
What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, because like it's like, bro, come on, we all grew up on Kanye West. I think.
You know what Charlemagne says?
What?
Someone needs to slap him. I feel like Kanye West, the reason why he feels unstoppable, and I agree with Charlemagne, no one has ever touched him.
But like, you know what's the
just one watch out.
You know what's the toughest thing sometimes we never look at is and I often think about it, right? Because I have a close relationship with moms. When someone can just say that's enough, like mom can just say that, and then you stop.
Yeah.
Right? When you lose that, because ever since then, like, bro, tell me, who's gonna tell Kanye to calm down? Who?
No one.
Right? Because it's just been you and moms. And I'm not trying to, I'm not saying any of the stuff he's doing is right and stuff. But, like, that's what sucks, especially with men growing up with their moms.
But with Kanye, you would expect, with age, you get tired of doing antics. How old is Kanye?
47. But I don't think. Let me say this. I don't that age thing, bro. I worked with way older people. That is a mindset, bro.
It's a mindset.
It's like growing up is really up to you.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying? The thing of you thinking, oh, by 50 I'm gonna be wise in age. If you don't choose the steps to be the wise and
take all the things you learned in life.
Rick Rubin, when you're stuck with writer's block and you go make your album with Rick Rubin or something like that, right?
Yeah,
it's not gonna work. But at the end of the day, it's.
I want to read Rick Rubin's book.
He wrote a book.
Yeah, he has a book.
Damn, snap.
It's generally about just creativity.
The dude, that guy he made so many good albums. And Mac Miller, you know Mac Miller?
Yeah.
I don't know how true the story is. So Mac Miller, when he used to take a lot of drugs and drink, he would then sometimes call people. Then one day he called Rick Rubin. And Rick Rubin heard this nigga is not good. So he told him, because, I think in Dave you saw that Rick Rubin has his own...
whole shebang.
Yeah, and he invited him and he's like... Mac Miller, I think this is the second time we talk about Mac Miller.
Yeah.
He just sat there, bro, crying, Just most of the time, just writing and... trying to do that, and you could hear after Mac that Divine Feminine dropped, there was a change in the way of talking about yourself, right? I think one thing as an artist that we can relate, even you as a comedian, I think the hardest thing is to be vulnerable and
it's just being
and
vulnerable.
the vulnerability is the thing that actually makes you.
Yeah, that makes who you are.
Truly, the true existence of who you are, insecurity. No, I'm the type of guy. So putting that in your art, and then you start, for me, for example, I've been enjoying a lot of music. Shout out to Spotify. I went back to Spotify.
I told you, man. Spotify is the place to be.
I think because of...
Sponsor us, man.
Yeah, please. Any day. I'll forever love Spotify. You know what Spotify does, right? If you're going to listen to the commercial sides, and which was not the first thing I did, right? When I was listening to Spotify, and remember when we found it, was because I was discovering new music. So if you're going to look for hip-hop, right, you need to make sure that the hip-hop that you're looking for is not hip-hop that's popping off the charts, because all those playlists you're gonna just hear the same old songs. Then your algorithm starts cooking for you. It just starts cooking. And you're just like, oh my god, what's going on? And you're just in this dimension of just music,
new sounds,
and now new sounds. You're right, new sounds. Finding you're wow, music is this beautiful thing. Because sometimes you'll hear not the generic, but the good stuff, the popping stuff. And then you start saying, damn, these people creating this.
Yeah, but it's the thing with creativity, sometimes it's you. As much as you want to be that guy who knows all the cool stuff in terms of artistic stuff, you'll always run into this moment where you're like, why is this thing not hitting the same anymore? And then one day you find that thing that makes you realize why you love this thing. Why you really love just general creativity as a whole.
So I have a quick question for you. If you could do something forever and you'll never get anything from it but fulfillment, what would you do?
What's the criteria of doing it forever? Well, I feel like I want to do it all the time.
Yeah, you love it so much, but you get nothing but just fulfillment. No paper, nothing. But I don't think it's limited that, oh no, you won't have a job. But it's this one thing that I'll just keep on doing, and I don't mind doing it for the rest of my life. And it's not limited to a career, so open your mind. We're not talking about, we're just saying that one thing. You love it so much.
I would say teaching.
Really? I didn't expect that answer. I did not. Why?
I would say teaching, because the reason I say teaching, because I feel like I'm an individual that has a lot of interest in different things, not just through one particular thing. And I believe education, even if you haven't maybe succeeded or so forth, would be one of the best contributions that you can add to whatever art form or
Yeah.
whatever profession that you want to do. So I feel like that's something that I would enjoy doing every day, like enjoying to create someone or even make someone else's dreams come true.
Yeah.
It's a thing that I feel like it's taken very lightly, because I feel like
Yeah, I like,
I maybe I say that because I always envy sometimes having the right mentors
no,
in
no. I
my
mean,
life.
a personal experience. I think from a young age, like you've always been someone who's enjoyed teaching me, and surprisingly, you're more patient than any time when you're teaching.
Yeah,
That's like that's
yeah.
it's like a weird contrast. Like
Yeah.
if I'm late, you'll be like, you're
Yeah,
wild
I'll
out
lose
of
my
me.
shit. Yeah.
But then when you're teaching me, and I remember when we were writing boards, I couldn't do an ollie. Like you just sit there and be like, nah, man, relax. Or when I couldn't do calculus in uni, you would just sit there and just be patient. And so I genuinely see what you're saying in that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
You know, I get what you're saying. And
Yeah.
also what you're saying is also an important thing, where you're saying the fulfillment of seeing someone else win.
Yeah, I think that's for me.
I think that's a human in you.
I always say this a lot. I don't find joy in me meeting my goals. Like because sometimes I forgot there's a term. Like sometimes I've already in my head.
Yeah.
Let's say now, I'm doing comedy. I want to be my comedy to be out there. I want to one day sell tickets and have a show.
Yeah.
Already in my mind, I'm living that. Already in my mind, I've achieved that. So that even when I get to the point where I get that, it won't give me that sense of fulfillment as when I'm in the process of even doing what I'm doing.
It's the process, right?
Yeah, it's like I find more joy in it. So like, so when everyone else around you, like just because I'm able, like today I was mom and my wife were on my ass, just saying, you know, as I was telling you, like just going like they're like, I don't know how. She was saying, I'm so tired, and here you are saying that you're gonna go for. And I'm gonna do another gig and another gig. And I say to them, every time when I think about it, I always think about it this way. I want to be able to one day inspire someone when they say, yo man, I feel like I'm doing this, and I'll be like, yo dude, I'm doing it. What makes you, you know what I'm saying? Like even when I always try to tell my story, even with the character coolness thing, sometimes obviously I know on stage people genuinely think I'm joking, but they don't know how much truth there is into that thing, whereby you have all these disadvantages that can put you back. But if you just continue with your life and say, to me, I'm not going to take these as obstacles. I'm just going to take them as just part of the process of whatever I'm doing.
I think you're right. I think like because of, like I said, because of what I'm going to get out of it. Like what it's gonna do for my life usually ruins things that we love. Usually you'd love music so much, or you love acting, but now if I become an actor, I'll be famous, I'll meet these cool people, I'll get paid, you know, and then it ruins everything. That's why even when I asked you, the question was like, no paper, not your job. You understand what I'm saying? Because you know, a job is labor, dude. Like
it's always,
I gotta do this. I gotta pay bills.
Even when you don't feel like it, you just have to say, I gotta do it.
I think on my end, one thing I would do for the rest of my life is just be create. You know, like just
anything
create.
Specific.
Firstly, I love technology. I love it with all my heart, but I also love art. That's why I see I'm starting to notice this decline within tech. Had a lot of innovation, but now tech has a lot of not helping our daily things. It's more of what can I sell you more, but not change your life. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I would whatever you can give me to like just create, even if it's not tech, like just to learn to do something, I notice gives me a good dopamine rush. That's why 3 years ago, if you asked me, yo bro, build this shelf, I'm be like, oh my god, this shelf, like how many screws are there? By the way, just side note, those plans don't work.
Oh my god!
But to be fair, I did maths lit, so they're like,
no, but what does maths lit have to do?
No, they do.
I had to put together the you see the TV stand.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand how complex that
the
guide looks, and they have these screws and all these things,
and all they number, but. Yeah, essentially,
that's when you need a real man.
I think going back to that and just build it, the only thing I really like about the art of creation, right?
Yeah.
And creation done without a deadline and everything is patience. That's why building a shelf or building a chair, right? The moment you're not patient,
that's where
it's not gonna do. So if you know, oh, I can't do this, I'm not in the mood, step away.
Yeah.
Because every screw is gonna matter on it, right?
Yeah.
So you can't just force, and the thing is not looking and it's looking like that. And that was me as a kid a lot. Like I would do something, but it wouldn't look like what it's meant to be. And I was like, I think a lot of pride, because I'm like, Dad likes doing that.
Yeah. That's his specialty.
Yeah.
And he's a guy who doesn't have time.
So when you don't have time, you're like, and bro, you know the moment he lets it go,
you start
it's
building
done.
the shelf.
And
then it was morning. It was early 7 a.m. You're like, nigga, I'm building this shelf.
And you think it's gonna
now
finish
9. Yeah. At night, you're seeing that this thing is not finishing up. That's why you start doing every shortcut.
So
to just go to sleep.
And so the reason I was even asking these questions, right, was because I was on YouTube, right, and I've been like trying to do, projects, right, and I remember the beginning when it was the beginning of the month, right, I was like, oh, I want to learn reinforcement learning, and but I want something cool, man. I want something not nerdy, something I'm maybe passionate about. I was like, oh yeah, popped into ChatGPT, like, what can I do? It came up with a self-driving thing. But then obviously you start conforming to society norms, right?
Yeah.
And I'll elaborate on it more. But I found myself pivoting, trying to build the stuff that everyone's building, build a stock predictor. Yeah, let's do that, because that's what everyone's gonna build, right? Then I came across a video on Y Combinator. For those who don't know, Y Combinator usually consults on startups and basically does all that stuff. And I know a lot of developers don't like them, but I remember watching these videos about founders in their 20s, and I was curious because I don't hear that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I don't hear people wanting to make companies, startups anymore. Because lately it's been, hey, you can become a YouTube. Like, there's always, oh, you can do this in the most littlest time and you can get paid. And why should you do that? And I remember them saying that, yo, if you like something, and it was not really specific to tech, like if you like something, just do it, like something that you love. And I remember going for a morning run and saying, yo, besides the paper, do you love this thing, bro? And I'm not talking about like my job, I'm talking about like tech in general, the progression of human civilization and AI. Because now the AI, like I said, everything is doom and gloom, and we've said it on the pod. When we talk about AI, we don't talk about, yo, fam, like,
that thing is
yes, it has negative things, but like this thing can help us.
I feel like the positives outweigh way more.
There's more so I just remember saying to myself, do you love this thing? Like, if there's no money, do you see yourself sitting and just doing this thing? And I just remember, like, when I was working on this project that I showed you, And I just told my wife, I wasted my entire weekend. And in my brain, I'm like, I'm not gonna get paid. This was so much fun. And what was funny, because you always often used that that a thing of like, oh, bro, there's no such thing as short attention span if you can sit for a 3-hour exam.
Yeah. Nick Zolzak,
I'm always a person who's always like doing too many things at the same time.
Yeah.
Because this was so hard, and it was like the first time when there isn't like a video, and now there's something I have to do called read and understand. Because I noticed like we just skim a lot now.
Yeah.
But now it's like, no, bro, this is an instruction. Like, if you don't
skim when I have to, I even start like reading out loud. Like,
yeah. Like, sometimes I even used to like the bullet points. Like, what is he saying?
But nowadays you have, again, like with ChatGPT.
Yes. Those are the things.
You can read the whole thing, and then you can take it and tell it.
Take pointers, try to understand
what are the main
break down, and probably
go
even
into the crux of an article.
Yeah.
You know, now I was thinking that the only reason why I would actually think about doing my masters is because of ChatGPT, not because of doing it faster. But I feel like there were sometimes you read an article. There's some articles just the author himself just doesn't have that way of translating an idea, especially not to.
Or he's probably speaking to another expert.
So in that case, you find it, okay, maybe I didn't get what you were saying, the gist of it. You come up with what you try to understand, and then you can take it to an AI system that it can pick up points that even he probably didn't even take into consideration.
Of course. That's an amazing way to kind of look at it. So.
Yeah, using it, bro. That thing is it's actually.
But would you say that because there's AI, there's going to be like, how the hell did you make a grammatical error when we pay for Copilot in the company?
Yeah, no, definitely.
Right?
No, definitely.
Like, we gave y'all classes to see.
No, like, even I sometimes have a standard where, like, I believe that nowadays, like, even when you write a paragraph, there should be no reason for you to make grammatical errors unless you really want to fight the whole change that we're going through now.
You always say,
you mad, man. Why would you even? It doesn't even make sense.
It's called being married to an idea. That's why I said with the Kanye album, there's a bit of a weird thing that what happens when AI actually sounds good and the song sounds good.
That we should be married to the idea that we shouldn't support AI.
It's so like now it's like. And then now we're banging, and then no one tells you the song is made by AI.
But I feel like the problem with when it comes to music and the usage of AI, my thing is, what's your role? Like, the whole fun part is you. So, like, if you're optimizing AI, I could think about maybe with your beats and stuff like that.
So I think,
but like when it comes to your message, what you want to be translated, why would you just do that to yourself?
I think what happens is,
what do you benefit?
They're going to be, as much as we get
is
lazy.
Is it money? You can't tell me it's money.
There are going to be lazier artists, right? Let's admit there are lazy artists, and there are people who are going to use technology to get a quick buck, and then they're going to fade into irrelevancy, right? But I do make the argument that I think AI is more of a human-led product, and it empowers a human to do on what they know. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if for example, especially smaller artists, let's not even talk about your biggest ones, because like, if for example, I have a MIDI keyboard, I don't have a guitar, and I try to play guitar on this thing, but there's a part where it's sounding too robotic. I don't know any.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, that you can use that.
But
like, where does now you as a vocalist and a writer?
It's gonna, because what's gonna start to happen is that in a way, it's going to find a way. I don't know. It's like autotune.
Yeah, let's move on to the
Yeah,
tweets,
it's
man.
like autotune. Just to go, it's like autotune, right? For some reason, let's let it cook. Let's not say don't be married to an idea, but then when it comes to music, no, hell no.
I'm not.
Just like how jazz artists can exist with, or analog artists can exist with us,
With us,
software, people who never touch anything, and then when you hear it, like Timbaland says, if that thing sounds like music, there is nothing that you can do, bro.
True.
Okay, let's go with the Twitter section.
Yeah, man.
What are people saying on Twitter? Mzansi Twitter or X.
Eggs are personal.
Mm-hmm.
No one can make them how you make them. Like generally, like
Ooh.
the way you prepare your eggs.
It took a minute though to make eggs properly. How long did it take you to like start making a good batch of eggs that you enjoy?
Oh, bro, it was very early, bro. It was temperature.
Because no, I mean when you're.
I always feel like niggas messed them up.
I messed it up for many years.
And it tastes it doesn't.
And also, I think a tip of the eggs as well. Going back, yes, that's super true. No one's gonna make it. The tip is, as the oil is about to get hot, crack, then start scrambling while the heat is going up. It's gonna scramble because if the heat just goes, it's just gonna I get you. Let's move on to the next one.
I have tasted. I don't know if they wanted to say tested. I have tested Instagram. I have tasted Twitter. I have tasted TikTok. I highly recommend reading a book. I won't lie to you, bro. I think I agree with what this person is saying. I've for a person that doesn't use social media, and sometimes I get a peek of what like my wife will show me what's going on. I always say to you, you know when she does it, like after an hour or so. My thing is like, so for because I used to use TikTok. I was like, bro, for an hour you were busy watching this weird stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, like
I think let me just like let's go left side. I think it's really overrated. As much as we can delegate for the things, delegating for the stuff is like, bro, at the end of the day, you know why this is not a good answer? Yeah. Maybe I don't read a book for leisure, but like, for example, you go to work and you just read. Yeah. Man. You read like crazy, right? Yeah. You're not like you're reading most of the time. Someone who's a student, all you do is read. The argument of saying, and that person didn't say that particular thing of like, oh, you're growing dumb. These things are like, no, most of the time, everyone is still reading. And I'm an advocate for the dumb internet. Like, so if you're on TikTok just watching the craziest humor, I'm more for that rather than you call preacher content.
When you go into ideologies, like like going into feminism or going into veganism, and that's all you start like. Nah. I get you. Now this one, requesting an Uber for someone is one of the most stressful things. You know, Mfana, this thing I hate. This is the one thing I always avoid is.
And you're always doing something.
At least if they hear. It's worse if they tell you, hey dog, I'm
no, that's what I think the person's alluding to.
Just and then they call you like, bro, which entrance are you at? I'm entrance 4. You're like, what the fuck?
And the worst part is that every time you're requesting for them, for some reason you're busy with something. You could be at the office and you're like, oh my god. Now you're looking at the ride and it's such a science. And you're like, no, I didn't order. But Uber has this cool thing when it asks, when it notices, it looks like you're requesting for someone else. Do you want to share?
Oh, you want to share?
Yeah.
But the share ride details is when my wife takes an Uber. She
does the same thing with me, and then you're just sitting.
But at least now we have cars, so.
No, I get it sometimes. One car house, and then when they don't message, you're like, "Yo, it's been 10 minutes, and I see you arrive. Oh yeah."
But sometimes I'm a bad husband, man. I forget even. It slips your mind. That no, I'm lying actually.
Nigga, don't be exposed. But no one.
I did that to Dad the other time where
you dropped him and you forgot.
I didn't even drop him. We Ubered him like at 8 o'clock. you Ubers. Honestly, bro. I went back to sleep. I went to sleep. And I continued my night.
Yeah.
The next morning when I'm running, I'm jogging in the morning, I'm thinking, hey man, I never checked if this guy even arrived at his spot. I'm like, what type of person am I, bro?
I think, yo, man, when we like check on Ubers, man, I think, we always should just check until that ride, man. Because it's never gonna be like an hour, 2 hour drive.
Yeah.
You know, there are those Uber drives, but damn, bro. But anyway.
This one, I always say this won't make a difference. It says a 3-day weekend makes so much sense. I disagree. You know why I disagree? It'll be, we have a 3-day weekend, and then after a couple of years or so, there will be never enough time for you to feel like
wait. I
arrested.
I think because we had like a weekend. Okay.
Did you feel much? Well, I felt like this thing was.
No,
I don't feel anything.
I think you know it's the key, right, guys? And
I didn't even watch anything. You know the Friday. Remember Friday?
Yeah. I didn't watch. I just watched Severance season finale.
I didn't do nothing. I spent half my time talking, doing errands, talking.
Or the errands is the ones that chow time.
And then you came, we talked, and after you left, I've talked to my wife. And I was like,
but the
I don't even watch anything.
The key into like utilizing it, even if it's a normal weekend, right? And you might not like it. I also don't like it. Wake up, goddamn early,
around 7.
And not even 7. No, 7's too. You see, if you're up at 5, right, and you do the stuff that you want to do while everyone's asleep, trust me, fam.
By 11,
like you can wake up. I'm not even saying, go do something.
But I used to wake up earlier back in the days when I started work.
Man, now it's because, but now because it's Ramadan, man, I wake up because I need to eat and I need to pray. I don't know.
All I just do is drink water and go to sleep, bro.
I don't. I have a cup of coffee, so I wouldn't have headaches throughout the day.
Let's go through this last one. The first batch of Gen Z are actually nothing like the younger Gen Z, which I totally agree. There needs to be a cutoff. There needs to be a cutoff because some of them are just not okay.
Okay, this is how I. This funny thing.
What does Gen Z end?
Gen Z, I think, ends in 2012, 13. So either some sources say 95 to 2012, if I'm correct,
95
or 2013.
is that Gen Z?
Some cases. Some say 96.
But you see, the reason I say this, bro, like, you know us from 90, like the 90s one, from like, you're saying 95, even us 98 going on. We are so, like, once it gets to like 2004, 5, I've always noticed there's a little bit of a difference.
Of course.
And I think they should be calculating it a bit differently because our society has grown exponentially as compared to
it needs to
the
change.
Other generations and stuff.
What I will say, right? This is how I say it. I think I've even said it. I've even said it to someone at work. This is how it is. We can hate at the other batch, right? But what we do, guys, because we are a family, we never, ever give the satisfaction that we fight amongst each other. You know how a family goes?
Yeah.
But like, I could have my differences, and then someone says, you know that nigga who's like, nigga, what you say about my brother? Like, it switches up.
Yeah.
Because what I notice is, do you realize, like, I've never heard people hate on millennials. Like, they had good stereotypes. They're hippies. They eat Avon toast. Right?
Us, we eating the
we, like, for example,
we broadcast
our
garbage a little bit more
listen,
sometimes, maybe.
No, but people who don't even know, we at least more savvy, bro. They are older millennials who be like, whoa,
incognito mode works on phones. Like, can you just help me with my phone? Yeah, the first, those opening tabs, those ones that show the regular visited tabs. You see X videos. I'm like, nigga, so when you open your laptop, nigga, you don't feel a little bit conscious.
So what I say is there is like a difference between us, but like we should not give these guys the satisfaction.
No, we shouldn't.
Because I noticed, for example, like, remember we even had an argument about, and I'm like, you do realize we're like the first batch that's actually doing the adulting.
Yeah.
And so like saying and basically bracketing us, you guys are so lazy, you're soft. You're like, bruh, it's only been like, what is it, tops now, 5 years?
Yeah, that
Someone who's in our generation, tops with experience. So like a lot of it is like it's a meme.
I feel like a lot of us also we haven't even got into the parenting hood part yet.
Yeah, we just started.
What if our parenting skills are more effective?
Exactly.
Because
the study has to like,
because let me tell you, the one thing that I always wonder why, and I've noticed it just out of observation, but it's also been a conversation going around. Gen Zers don't drink as much.
Oh yeah, we love weed.
I don't know.
They love. Yeah, we love weed.
But why?
The funny thing is that,
bro, compared to, did you know how?
So millennials,
there's
that stereotype that millennials love alcohol. They do though.
So like, not drinking is a huge.
Yeah, it's a big huge. The only thing is sometimes we do
those
have
alcohol companies are stressing now.
Of course,
when you think about it,
and also we are like the first generation who's like super into like more of recreational. Like I think we're going back to like the 1970s hippie era, our generation.
Yeah, exploring.
Sometimes
more.
We could overdo it, I think.
Yeah, no, definitely, because if you do like especially shrooms, the psychedelic stuff, I realized it can really deteriorate some people's brains.
So we are sad. Also like the first ones to like, as much as they say it's soft, but like it is good to like, yo, bro, nigga, take care of yourself, like
what the mental health thing.
Yeah, it's
and everyone look,
and obviously human beings. I won't lie
to you. There's parts of me that sometimes at moments where that I don't know if it's the old what is it?
Millennials
in me that sometimes feels like, yo, man, we really complain about our mental health, but in reality,
it kills, man.
When you just look at everyone, when you just look at how
everyone's coping in a different way,
like you always be like, why do we ignore this as much? Like
it's hard, bro.
And sometimes it's like I always find it strange that you can tell so much about a person just from how he was brought up as a kid, his social standing in high school, all this. You start looking at it, so many things that you just be like, this has warped this guy's mind into seeing things in a much more different way than you would see it. And coping in mechanisms that are much more different.
So I think what they usually do, and I guess it's just an old hate. We're gonna hate on, what are they called, centennials, the ones coming after.
Gen A.
Or the alpha, yes.
Yeah.
Right? And then I think what happens is you're gonna just start hating, but like at the end of the day, it's like, for me, like according to that tweet, we even take our shitty brother.
We'll take him.
We throw hands at all costs. So y'all stupid men.
But I feel like, bro, I won't lie to you, bro. Like I feel bad for us because, bro, this thing of being exposed to too much. We really just need to come together.
Let's say the older batch, we are slightly better. To be fair, no, I think we're worse. Like, I don't want to make this dark, but like, hey man, kids, we do some fucked up shit, man, and experiment in weird things, right?
Yeah.
So it's great that y'all are not touching grass sometimes, but smoking in your mama's house.
But a lot of people don't go out more. They don't go out as much.
But I also genuinely want to start, doing that. But like,
but I won't lie to you, man. I've been just doing nothing. My weekends I waste them doing nothing. Like I always feel like I don't do much.
But
I always have ideas of saying, okay, you know what, maybe I'll practice guitar, and then I just
actually, my wife was asking me, you play guitar?
Yeah.
She was asking me, does Vinny still play guitar?
I don't. I really haven't played it in the wrong time, man. I feel bad because I really need to I love it so much. I love the theory and learning, but sometimes I get demotivated. Like, bro, I've been doing this thing. There's a part of me that sometimes is like, but guys, how am I? When am I? I'm always learning shit. You know what I'm saying? There's moments I'm like, bro, and my mom's hating. He's like, you do so many things. You do this, you do this. I'm like, bro, look, I like learning things. But with guitar, I've gotten to a point where I know so much about it. Maybe I might not be able to play as much as I know.
Yeah.
But it's always that thing of, I know I will never get to the level that I wish
Yeah.
I would ever get in guitar. Guitar is the most, people think when you learn those fundamentals, you go to this, it gets to a point where it just becomes one of those depressing things. You're like, why? Why would I even, there's a part of me I just wish I went to a music school. Yeah, I just wish I went.
Same.
Yeah,
Like for me, sometimes like a filmmaker.
Yeah, but in an alternate universe, I usually say I'm a blue collar worker. I'm a blue collar worker.
That's why it goes back, and I don't want to
worker.
come across as preachy. That's why I said, yo, guys, let's just go back. Sorry, let's just go back to, because we're gonna have to cut up.
Yeah.
Let's just go back to just doing stuff for fun.
Yeah, man.
Nothing's gonna pay you. Just basics.
Yeah.
Game without thinking if you could stream this.
Yeah. You know, you'd be like, yeah, man.
Everything's like, what if I can get
bro,
paid?
if I was a streamer, man, niggas would be saying I'm shit at this game, bro. I've been playing Call of Duty.
Konji, you're a
Black
COD
Ops
guy.
6. Yeah, no, I've been playing the campaign. I ain't gonna lie, there's something about this campaign that's just whipping me, man. Like, I've been just getting stuck. There's moments I'm like, what? There's moments where I'm like, whoa, you know what? Like, I have to sit myself down. You know, back in these, you could just rush into them niggas, start
And
blasting.
once when you're like a working person, you like,
and you're like, yeah, man, this is taking too much time. I don't have time to be easy. So, fuck. But no, usually I just calm myself down. Like, you know what, man?
But it's
just play the game. No one is rushing you. Just have fun.
It's
man.
great that you're relaxing, man. You don't have to stress.
Yeah,
and
no,
sometimes
I really don't. I try not to do that because, look, bro, already now, even just this week, I always say I feel like a bum. I only felt like a bum this weekend because last weekend I didn't do no comedy, nothing. But like this week alone, I might do like, 3-4 gigs. Just open mic
but
spots.
I have a thing before we drop the pod. Since you're paying for Amazon, just watch Invincible.
I watched Invincible actually. Let me just wrap up with this, bro. I watched. So my wife was hating because it's cartoons.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm like, no, just watch it.
Yeah.
And watch it with me. So watch the first episode. I only watched the first episode. Oh, I'm watching it. Okay, cool. And she's mocking the whole. Yeah, he's gonna get his powder.
She doesn't.
Hey, bro, that Omni-Man.
Oh.
That nigga just starts fucking shit up, man.
You mean when he slaughters them?
Bro.
Yeah, carry on.
No, that was honestly, for me, I was a bit, you have to admit, the show doesn't give indication that.
I just carry on
you know
watching.
when he grabbed that nigga's cop, please, I was, me and Danica were both quiet. And she's like, what happened? Why did he do that? I'm like, yeah.
Now
you want to watch the next episode. Stop hating. I told him stop hating, man.
It's burning in this car.
Yeah, bro.
Guys, this has been Third Avenue. Shout out to you guys and peace.
Bless.